peeping all the signs. They sling lies, we bringing clarity. Breaking down the script, straight sincerity. Headlines shifty, gotta stay woke. Truth in every word, not just a hefty joke. Current affairs, tune in, y'all listen close. Aharon Yasharahla hit you with the most. No fluff, just facts, we dissecting the scene. Radio wave, sharp, cut and clean. Modern day prophets, echoes of the past. We see through the smoke, these lies won't last. Real talk, mountains from the molehills. Truth reigns supreme over fake thrills. Government plots, we expose the schemes. Politics dirty, trying to crush dreams. From the ghettos to the burbs, we keep it raw. Current affairs, y'all feeling every law. Current affairs, tune in, y'all listen close. Aharon Yasharahla hit you with the most. No fluff, just facts, we dissecting the scene. Radio wave, sharp, cut and clean.
Hey, it's your boy. Your boy is right back at you. Hey, listen, what can I say? It's your boy, Aharon Yasharahla, aka Big A. It is a pleasure, family, to be back on this stage. It's glorious time here on Shofar Radio. I mean, what is a better place to be? Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. It is me. You're looking at a gorgeous mug with a beautiful voice. All praises to the Most High. Hey, how y'all been doing out there, family? Hey, Miss Jackson. Shalom. Shalom. How are you? I'm glad you're tuning in. You know, I have some good things to talk about this evening, this morning, this afternoon. Whenever you can chime in to hear me, whenever you may hear me, it is such a wonderful thing. Now, I want to divert back to my older current affairs segments. I used to have some things where I would present things like saying of the day. Now, I thought about that. I was thinking about there's some things that I'm missing that I haven't been doing. It's not jokes, but I do want to start off, family, with a saying of the day. And I want to get back to what I used to do. So the saying of the day that I have for this broadcast is what I picked up when I was in the world, and I was part of a fraternity, but there was some good aspects. And we call this the 7 P's or the 12 P's. And it goes like this, and it actually really helps out with putting things into perspective from day to day. And it goes like this, saying of the day, family. Prior planning and preparation prevents a piss poor performance. A piss poor performance produces pain. So let's think about that. That's my saying of the day. And the 7 P's to 12 P's, the 7 P's are actually prior planning and preparation prevents a piss poor performance. And that goes into anything, right? So you want to prepare and have prior planning for what you're doing. So you want to think about the great ideas you may have or that you have. And you want to do some planning into it. Because again, prior planning and preparation prevents a piss poor performance. And if you have a piss poor performance, it's going to produce pain. So again, family, I learned this when I was pledging. And if you want to know what fraternity it was those people with the canes, Kappa Alpha Psi. And I do not deal with that anymore. Since I've turned over a new leaf and given myself to the Most High, I have denounced my letters. Okay, I have denounced my letters. So with that said, family, let's jump into the things that I have. But how was your week? How has your week been since the last episode of Current Affairs? Since the last, breath you've taken. Oh man, it is a pleasure to be on this platform. I mean, I can't tell you how much I love this platform. I mean, it reaches people that I don't even know it reaches. And all praises to the Most High. All praise to the Most High. But family, before I go any further, I do have some things, some articles that I'm going to bring out that may be disturbing. All right, and I apologize for that, but this is a platform to bring awareness to things that are going on that may have gone on in the past that do pertain to current events right now and to the future. Shalom, family. How you doing, Miss Cook? Shalom. Now, we are all familiar, family, with the Internal Revenue Service or Internal Revenue System, however they're distinguishing it now, or by layman's terms, IRS. Now, when I hear IRS, anything about that, my heart be palpitating. Like, and it's worse than student loans for me, So there was one time before I actually get into the article. There was one time, family, where I actually owed the IRS, and you don't want to owe the IRS. So my wife and I, made a deal with the IRS to which they could take out, or would take out X amount of dollars per week or every 2 weeks. I believe it was every 2 weeks at that time, and uh, they they were straight with what they did. They actually took out that money whether it was there or not. And I say that because we were in our 20s and we didn't know. We were just learning how to live life, how to pay bills, how to stay out of debt. So this first article, family, I found the IRS is considering allowing taxpayers to claim their pets as dependents. Shalom, Mr. Rich, what's happening? So now the first article, family, the IRS is considering allowing taxpayers to claim their pets as dependents. And I saw this, I'm like, interesting. Hmm, very, very interesting. And when I gave it some thought, I'm like, well, it really makes sense because when you file your taxes, they ask for dependents. But this is the first that I came across in which it mentioned pets. And a pet is a dependent because if you have any kind of dog, a cat, a gerbil, a squirrel, alligator, pet, whatever you may have as a pet, that pet is dependent upon you, family, as you know. Yeah. Yeah, we pay taxes on food, shelter, and all of that stuff, essential for our animals. And they should have been allowed this. Now, when I dug even deeper, I was like, yeah, yeah. When I dug deeper, I'm like, yeah. Because as you said, Miss Cook, they should have been allowed this because it should be a tax write-off. Just like children, some cats, some dogs are just like children. They are dependent. They don't eat unless you feed them. They don't walk unless you walk them, right? They don't get any exercise unless you exercise them. Shalom, chapayam. Hey, how you doing, my brother? Glad to see you out there, brother. Glad to see you. But the IRS is doing a good thing. But the reason they're doing this, family, from what I found out, they're actually, check this out. There's actually a New York attorney whose name is Amanda Reynolds, right? She's a New York attorney. She actually filed a lawsuit against the IRS, arguing, right, that her dog relies on her for food, shelter, medical care, training, and transportation. Almost like like I said earlier, they consider the dogs as a member of the family. I mean, why wouldn't the saying is a dog is a man's best friend, right? Which, in some cases I found that to be true. Like when I had a dog, and I actually want a dog again right now. I just don't want the bill that comes with it, right? But when I had a dog family, I had a pit bull. And people say that pit bulls are aggressive. No, the only dog that's aggressive is the dog that you make aggressive. You can have a bull mastiff, and it'll be the sweetest dog that you ever known and seen on this earth, unless you make it aggressive by being aggressive. So back to my pit bull. Her name was Ebony. Ebony was lovely. I used to wrestle Ebony. Ebony loved it. I mean, she didn't ever bite me. Now, when I got aggressive towards her for things she did, like poop in the house, pee in the house, things that she should not do, and she knew that. And a couple times I would beat her, to discipline her. Of course, she would get snappy, but she never really bit me, you know. So I never taught her any aggressive traits, right? So going back to the point in hand, the case in hand, Miss Amanda Reynolds, the New York attorney, she did sue the IRS, and the case actually is still pending, right? So we don't know who has won at this point. As a matter of fact, no one has won, but it seems as though since the IRS has now come out saying they are actually considering allowing taxpayers to claim pets as dependents, right? They saw this coming eons ago. They were actually just waiting till their buttons were pressed, and it comes in the form of a New York attorney, right? Now, Reynolds, the attorney, Amanda Reynolds, her dog's name is Finnegan, and she says that she actually spends about $5,000 uh, per year on Finnegan. That's a lot of money. I don't care if it's, that's per year. That's a lot of money. You know what I can do $5,000 per year if I didn't have a dog, right? Or going to somewhere else for a dog. Now her argument says that it fits the requirements of the IRS agency that they laid out for a legal dependent. Now, with that said, you know, I don't see why they shouldn't fold. They should fold in this matter. I mean, because this is an attorney who probably knows the book better than the IRS. Because the IRS, if they send a legal, or once they send a legal representative out to someone, usually that representative, unless they really know the book to the T, only knows that they are the IRS. You know what I mean? Because if you're an attorney, you got to know the law to the letter of it. And I'm pretty sure Miss Amanda Reynolds does, because she had the gall to sue the IRS. I ain't got the gall to sue the IRS, would you? Unless you're an attorney and you know the law and you believe that you can win. Another question to this that came to me, family, is she representing herself, or is she representing her dog? Is she representing herself and her dog in the case? Or does she seek legal counsel? No pun intended. I mean, she can seek herself. In this case, she really can defend herself, or defend her dog, or defend her funds, because that's what it really is. She's defending the funds that she is not gaining, or the funds that she actually is losing. What do you think? Do you think she actually has a case in this? I think she does. And more power to her. I hope she wins, because, you know, you really can't have a law against things or laws are really not made against things until that certain things happen, a certain thing or things happen, right? So I wish Miss Amanda Reynolds all Godspeed on this. I really hope that she does win, because maybe my wife and I will reconsider, and we'll go ahead and break down and get a pet. It'll be a dog. Hopefully another pit. Pits are sweet. I love pits. They're not mean by any means, right? So again, family, I want to thank you for listening to me. I'm glad you tuned in. I mean, I'm just trying to bring some things out that you may or may not know, and it may help you in the near future. You know, so this week has been a long week, family. I Just a little side note, I'm doing electrical work again, electrician. I've been out of the game for about 10 years. And I just picked it back up. There's good money in it. There's good things to learn in it, you know. So this week for me has been was a little hard. I picked up a side job with my bishop. For those who know, I picked up a side job with him, and let me tell you, that job that we did, and I love my bishop. The job we did broke me down, broke me off, you know. And what we did, what I'm not going to disclose, is nothing harmful. Um, you know, it just tired me out. I'm like, this job is just it shouldn't be this hard, but it was. Anyway, all praise to the Most High. We got through it. This next article, family, I entitled, and this is harsh. When I get into it, the title isn't harsh, but it's harsh. So it's harsh. So just brace yourself. I titled this "Bodies Exhibit Allegedly," and I say allegedly because I found some things online when I looked it up and tried to say it was fake news, and I know this is not fake news. We know biology, and we know that in biology, when you're studying it, you see things like uh, skeletons. You even may come across that body that shows your muscles, right? You have that still figure. You got a still figure that shows your muscular skeleton. Well, family, in this article I found, Bodies Exposition, I titled it, has to do with a lady named Diana Mitchell, right? Give me one second, take a sip of this juice here. I had to take a sip because, like I said, this is hard to swallow. Get it? Hard to swallow. Diana Mitchell, back in October 2024, October 19th of 2024. Diana Mitchell went to a bodies exhibit, and she actually went there, family, because she was pulled to the exhibit, not because she wanted to initially, but because she was pulled there by her granddaughter. Her granddaughter was very intrigued, and she like, "Grandma, grandma, grandma, please, let's go here. Please, let's go here." Now, Diana Mitchell was very, she did not, there's no sound. I'm sorry. Sorry, Miss Jackson. Let me see what we got going on. Uh, testing, testing. Can you hear me out there? How about now? Is that better? I hope you can hear me. I hope this sound is better. I ran a diagnostic test and things were good on my end when I ran the test earlier. So I hope that you can hear me now. Give me some feedback, Miss Jackson. Can you hear me? Rich, can you hear me out there, family? No sound. Huh. Well, Mr. Rich, you can hear me. Mr. Jackson, you can't. I'm not sure. I'm gonna keep going. I can hear me. um, yeah, just reboot and see let's see what's going on, Miss Jackson. Chapayam, can you hear me? Is there a problem on your end? Anyway, I'm gonna keep going, family. I'm gonna keep going. I don't want to delay too much longer. I hope you can hear me. I hope you can hear my wonderful voice. But Miss Diana Mitchell, back in October of 2024, cool, cool. Back in October 19th of 2024, Diana Mitchell went to this bodies exposition, right? And she was, like I said, she was dragged there by her granddaughter. And again, family, this is going to be a little gruesome, I was taken aback by this, all right? And she went to this exposition in Georgia at the Georgia World Congress Center. All praises to the Most High. I'm glad you can hear me. That's the Prince of Power of the Air. But Miss Diana Mitchell went to this Georgia World Congress Center for this bodies exposition or exhibit in 2024, October 19th. And at that time, she had been her son had been missing for 25 years, right? She was missing her son for 25 years, and his son, and her son's name was Marcus Mitchell, right? So just put yourself into Miss Dinah Mitchell's shoes. You are missing your son for all these years. And so she's here looking at this this body that is just a muscle, a muscular skeleton of a person. And these institutions actually get these people, real people at the time, who agree to this, that their bodies be embalmed or whatever, however the process goes, so that way so that people can see how the muscles look in the body, right? So Miss Dinah Mitchell, she's she's looking, and some call her out. She really don't want to look because she's still going through. You know, when you lose a son or a daughter, it hurts you to the bitter core, to the bitter bone. And she really didn't want to look, but she went because her granddaughter took her there, right? And some called her eye. She's looking. She's about to walk away. She's looking, and what catches her eye is that her son Marcus actually had a gold tooth that he had got put in when he was alive, right? And she looked and she's like, hold on, that looks like couldn't be. Like my son, he had a gold tooth in the same spot, silver tooth, whatever it may be. Then she also noticed, her son used to play basketball when he was alive. He messed his ankle up, and his same body had pins in the ankle, same location her son did. So she saw a golden crown in the tooth area where her son had one at, and she also had seen these pins in the ankle. And she was like, "Ain't no way!" Too much of a coincidence. And she looking, and she was convinced, family, that this was her son who went missing 25 years prior. So I'm looking at this. I'm like, this is insane. I dig even deeper, family, and come to find out, allegedly, family, allegedly, this could be the body of Marcus Mitchell. Oh, can you believe or even guess or even come close to what Miss Diana Mitchell was feeling? That she is looking at her son's muscular skeletal body? I mean, how devious can an institution be? Now, when I look this up, family, they say this happens more often than not because these institutions get these bodies allegedly from anywhere. It could be from persons or entities they don't not even know that they get these bodies from sent to them. I cannot imagine losing any kind of family member. And then I go to this exhibit years later and I notice that this is my boy, my girl, God forbid, anyone that I know. And I notice certain markers on this skeletal figure. Can you imagine what was rushing through her head? I mean, for a mother to recognize her long lost son of 25 years and to be able to pinpoint. And see, that's what we need to do. I'm going to speak to the men for a second. Men, our women tell us, our wives tell us that we don't notice things. Women are diligent with the things they notice. So we need to get more on point with what we notice, men, family, gentlemen. Would you be able to identify your son or your daughter if you was in the same shoes? Think about that. That's deep. That's deep. Think about Being in grade school when you were looking at this skeletal muscle, could it have been a person's family member? See, we're thinking they carved this out to the T. No. Allegedly, these are real people. Now, we know they're real people, but what I'm talking about, people who have been kidnapped, trafficked through human trafficking, which has been going on since the dawn of man. I mean, how evil can you be? Oh my Lord. When the day of judgment come, I would not want to be standing in those shoes of the person or persons who did this heinous crime. And I pray that she hits some justice. But she will. She will, because the Most High says, vengeance is mine, saith the Lord. It's forgive me if this was egregious, which it is, or too much for you to hear. It was very hard to pull this out. Very hard. But, family, but I got some good news on my next topic. Some very good news. Now we all know about Netflix, and this next piece of news should get our minds off of that tragic, horrific bodies exhibit um, thing I just pulled out, right? But this next piece of information, we all know about Netflix, right? And you remember things like the Cosby Show, things like that. And the Cosby Show had a spinoff with Denise Huxtable when she went to college called A Different World. I mean, those was the good old days. You know what I mean? Those were the good old days. I mean, in A Different World, for those of you who are younger, was about, um, you know, Denise Huxtable from Bill Cosby Show. Denise Huxtable was Bill Cosby's, uh, well, Bill Huxtable, Cliff Huxtable. Shalom, Ephraim. How you doing? Denise Huxtable was Bill Cosby's daughter on the Bill Cosby Show, right? And she went on to go to college, and there was a spinoff called A Different World. Well, family, I am proud and happy to announce that there will be a Different World reboot. Yo, I seen it. I was like, yo. Do y'all remember that? A Different World? I gotta sing the theme song. I know my parents love me. Get behind me, come one day. I know not yet. I'm ready now. 'Cause I finally heard them say it's a different world. And where you coming from? Yes, it is now. It's our chance to make it. Aye, if we focus on our goal, you can dish it, we can take it. Yeah, y'all remember that, right? Hey, listen, family, A Different World reboot is set to come out in 2027. Now, of course, it ain't gonna be the same old cast because Father Time don't lose. Everyone is up in age. They ain't in their 20s no more, right? They are in their 40s, some 50s. Shalom, shalom, everybody. In their 40s and their 50s, right? So there is actually a reboot. So I'm going to read to you what I found. A Different World. I cannot wait. That was my favorite shows because it put a perspective. Hey, listen, that's right. It put a perspective on going to college. And when that came out, I was really just going to college. I entered college in '96. Ooh, am I giving away my age? Ooh, have mercy. I entered college in '96. So it put a perspective on what college was at that time. I think that was maybe a couple years before I went. But anyway, so the release date is 2027. We don't know an exact official month date yet, but they said a year 2027, right? And it's based on, we all remember Dwayne Wayne, right? And Whitley, they dated, right? Dwayne Wayne had those glasses that flipped up. right? He had those glasses, right? They started dating on the show, and it's based around Dwayne and Whitley's daughter, uh, Deborah Wayne, amongst other cast members. So we're going to see Dwayne Wayne Whitley and some other cast members that from the original, but it's going to be based around Deborah Wayne, the daughter of Dwayne Wayne and Whitley. I mean, this is going to be something, family. And I pray that they do this justice. You know, now, although it's a new cast, like I said, some of our favorite people will return. And this show for me, like I said, was so inspirational. I mean, it made most people, a lot of people, yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. I'm glad you can hear me and see me now. But this show really made me want to go to college and experience college, because I was going to go to the military at one point, but I'm glad I chose college. There I met my gorgeous and beautiful wife, and if I didn't go to college, maybe I would have met her somewhere else. But that was fate. I believe it was fate for me to meet my wife. Anyway, not to get off the beaten path, and a different world was a blueprint for most of us. You know, when we go to college, family, it's a stepping stone, a milestone in our lives, right? And we all get that, or at least I hope that we all have had that college talk. Now, for me, I thought it would come from a member of my actual family, blood family, but no, it actually came from an outside member of my dinner, paid for it through tuition, right? I had that provided for me, room and board. So I didn't need a whole lot outside of books to go to school. So, you know, A Different World was a blueprint. You know what I mean? And I'm glad I had that experience that show came out, that sitcom came out before I went, because it helped a lot for me to get through college, you know, and it brings back so many memories. I can remember there was a time on the show where they had people stepping in fraternities and sororities. I didn't know what that was, until I got to college. And I got to college, I'm like, oh, well, this is what I saw on A Different World. And let me tell you, that's a great name for that show, because when you get to college, it really, it really is a different world. And it's a different world because you're on your own. You don't have mom, you don't have dad, you don't have brother, you don't have sister, you don't have auntie, you don't have uncle to wake you up in the morning. It's on you. College is a building block of life that we need, whether you stay on campus or you stay off campus. We need college. We need that building block. We gotta have it. It's an experience of a lifetime, but not all of us get to experience it, because college is not for everybody. So, just going back, family, A Different World reboot. I cannot wait to see in 2027. I actually hope it comes out in next year in 2026, right? Just right around the corner. But listen, like that the song says, I know my parents love me. Get behind me, come one day. Mm, I know not yet. I'm ready, yeah. And listen, those words of that song really go hand in hand, because I didn't know I didn't think I was ready. And when my mom took me to college, got me settled in and left me, 'cause I'm from Ohio and I went to school in Philly. She got me settled and left, and I was by myself, and I was looking around. But I made it. I made it. I had a 5-year program. I made it. I made it. All praise the Most High. I made it. I persevered. Still here. So with that said, family, I'm glad to hear about that's coming out, the reboot of A Different World. I'm from Cincinnati, sis. I'm from Cincinnati. Not from Columbus, not from Cleveland. I'm from Cincinnati, the Cincinnati Bengals. That's my team, Cincinnati, right? So yeah, that's the part of Ohio that I'm from, right? Born, raised, bred, and fed until I was 18, and I didn't go dead. Anyway, but this is a part where I want to take a quick mention of the great and beautiful naturally glam shalom naturally glam products. Naturally glam family, you can check out naturally glam skincare and cosmetics, which these products are naturally made by my great and beautiful wife. She makes it right in the confines of our own home. There are no chemicals in it, no harsh chemicals. Everything is natural. It's so natural, family. You can eat the product just about. I mean, now you probably get a little stomach ache if you eat it because it's something different for your belly, but you actually can't eat this. She has women's yoni steams, men's beard creams, facial creams for both men and women. She also has, like I said, men's beard creams. But let me tell you one thing, family, that I just found out about the men's beard cream that I did not know until about 3 or 4 days ago. I put a beard cream on my face one day, and I actually had some spots on my face. I shaved, and I saw some crazy spots, blemishes on my skin. I'm like, what is that? And some dry skin patches. So I'm like, I took the beard cream. I'm like, let me just see, who cares? Put it on, and for real, family, no lie. A few days later, maybe about 4 or 5 days, those blemishes started clearing up. The dry skin patch, I got one on my ear. It was real dry. It took it away. So I'm like, that's why I say it's all natural. You can use this product. I'm not boasting or lying. I'm not lying about this because this is how they say, this is real talk. This real talk. This all natural product. Oh, Oberlin, my bad. You from Ohio, Oberlin? Ain't nothing in Oberlin. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Anyway, but you can go to the website Naturally Glam Skincare and Cosmetics, and check out the website. You can also get from the website, which we still have yet to put up there. You can get sea moss gel and juice, which we actually need for our bodies as well. All right. So I wanted to tell you about naturalglamskincare.com. Go ahead and check out the products. They're all natural. You can get those ordered to you, and we do send them through the mail, long distance or local. All right. Now, with that said, family, I do want to introduce another segment that, oh, yeah, I see Miss Jackson talking about what? Yeah, Oberlin is a beautiful small town with nothing in it. Anyway, I do have another segment that I want to introduce. Inspirational quote. Um, and this inspirational quote I came across, and I'm trying to just uplift our people. But I did want to share this with you all. An inspirational quote. And I bring this out because I know that we don't fight with flesh and blood, but we fight against spirits, principalities and powers in high places in this world, right? We fight against spirits in this world. So when things get you down, this is just something to remember when you feel that you're being attacked. Now, I just want to give some people some upliftment and let you know that the devil is not attacking you, family, because you're weak. Some of us feel the devil is attacking us because we're weak. No, quite to the contrary, quite the opposite. The devil is attacking because he feels that you are a threat. Because there is something powerful inside you. Thieves don't break into empty houses. The enemy couldn't take you out, so he's trying to wear you down, family. But don't you dare give in because the tide is about to turn in your favor. The Most High sees your struggles. He knows your heart. He knows you're tired, but he's not done with you yet. Put the Most High first and trust Him, even when you can't see the way forward. He's not. He's making a way for you, even when you can't see the way forward. He is with you and He is for you. The Most High is working things out together for your good. So, family, keep moving forward because your breakthrough is closer than you think. Stay strong, stay faithful. Your time is coming. That is an inspirational quote that I have that I ran across. I was like, wow, that's deep. It's very inspirational because we all get down in this walk of life. We all get down because this is a test. What did Christ tell us to do? He said, if you're going to follow me and you want to be with me, pick up your cross and bear your burden. No one is worthy of me that picks up the plow and looks back. Who can pick up a plow going forward and looking back? And what I found that to mean, and I'm not a preacher by no means, I'm not an ordained minister by no means, but what I found that to mean is that when you're going forward in this life, it's going to be tough. There are obstacles we have to get through. Look at Job. Look what Job went through. Job had boils on his body, lost his entire family, and yet he endured. Do you know how long Job endured? When we read that story in the King James, it doesn't tell us. When you do your diligent research, it tells us in other books, like in the Apocalypse of Paul, when he has his journey to heaven, it tells us he saw Job, and Job said that ordeal lasted 30 years. Well, think about it. That ordeal should have lasted 30 years because he had 10 kids. And what does the scripture say? He got back everything tenfold. So his wife had to birth all them kids again. Of course, a new set. So why wouldn't it have gone? He wouldn't have gone through that ordeal 30 years. So whatever you're going through, smile, as the scriptures say. Praise the Most High through the ups and downs, good and bad. I'm going through something right now. If I told you, you wouldn't believe me. But I'm smiling because I'm still here. He's been waking me up every morning. And all the righteousness that I have, as the scriptures say, all the righteousness of all the saints is like filthy rags. So we got to praise the Most High when we wake up. I know I do. He ain't got to wake me up. I don't know my timeline. If I knew my timeline, I'd probably be scrounging every day to get better. I mean, even I'd be hysterical, out my mind. So I got to live every day like it's my last. I got to live every day like it's my first, for that matter. I don't know what lies around the corner. I've learned to not put things off. I'm still learning, not put things off for tomorrow. Why put things off for tomorrow when you do it for today? Because tomorrow ain't promised. It ain't promised. So we have to pick up the plow and keep on going. Pick up that burden. Pick up your cross. Keep on going. Christ did it. He was here. He showed us how to do it. We ain't got no excuse except to get better. None of us are perfect. But we are getting our houses in order. We have to get our houses in order. I came home today and I was upset about something, and I left the house to do what I had to go do. And I laughed, like, why am I getting upset? Because I could have did X, Y, and Z to prevent this. There's no reason for me to get upset. That's right. Job is one of those books, family, to keep on pushing. Despite what tribulations we go. Because ain't none of us lost 10 kids, lost all of our sheep and our lamb, houses blown down, friends coming over talking all this yin yang. You did something you did wrong, though. But ain't none of us went through that. So we can't even compare ourselves to Job. But you know what, family? Our ancestors went through these things for us today to look back at. That's why the scriptures say, remember Lot's wife, right? She was, they was leaving the world, and in the world she left behind, she looked back and she turned to a pillar of salt. Remember Lot's wife. Remember Job. Remember our ancestors that went around in circles in the wilderness for 40 years, all because they murmured. Man, look, family, you can't make this up, man. We got to be diligent with what we have going on. And like I said, when I came home, I was like, rah rah rah. Then when I did what I had to go do, I'm like, how stupid of me. And I immediately apologized to the Most High and forgave myself. I had to forgive myself. It wasn't nobody else I had to forgive. I had to forgive myself because it was stupid of me coming home and seeing what I saw and was like, rah rah rah. That was dumb. So I got over it real quick. Once I analyzed what the heck was going on with me. So that's what we got to do, self-analyze. If we self-analyze, check ourselves, the world will be much better. The world will be much better. And with that said, family, that's a great transition going into the world will be much better. Have anyone ever heard of the Black Angels? And I'm actually going into the last article that I have. But before I actually go into that, the Black Angels is the last article. But let me just rephrase what I have talked about this evening. So going from the inspirational quote that I just went over, basically meaning don't quit, don't give up, don't quit. There actually is a poem called Don't Quit. Look it up. My saying of the day, prior planning and preparation prevents a piss poor performance. A piss poor performance produces pain, right? I mentioned Naturally Glam, skincare and cosmetics. Go ahead and check it out. All natural products that you need in your life. We also have the reboot of A Different World, family, coming out through Netflix in 2027. Listen, for all of those in my generation, we want to see that. We want to see A Different World reboot, and it better live up to par, Netflix. It better live up to par. Or listen, we're gonna get a whole lot of people unsubscribing to you if and you better deliver. If you got enough money to try to buy Warner Brothers, you better deliver, right? I also mentioned family the bodies exhibit in which Miss Dinah Mitchell had lost her son for 25 years, and she goes to this bodies exhibit. Where you actually see the body and the muscle skeleton, and come to find out allegedly that was her son. Gosh, how devastating is that? How eye-opening is that? How satanic is that? And the first thing I mentioned, family, was the IRS considering allowing taxpayers to claim their pets on taxes, right? Their pets as dependents, which it should have been. Should have been like that the whole time. You have a pet as a dependent. The pets can't pay for housing. They can't pay for the food you give them. They depend on the owner for everything, right? So with that said, family, I'm going to go ahead and diligently go into this final topic that I have called the Black Angels. The Black Angels. I don't know if anyone has ever heard of the Black Angels. There were 6 of these gorgeous women in history. Shalom, Prince. Shalom, Shalom. These Black Angels, many were from the South, maybe most of them. And this took place in the 1930s, right? So in the 1930s, family, the way this unfolds is that this is when TB or tuberculosis came around, right? And TB, like any disease when it comes around, it's a big old scare. Just like when AIDS came around, it was, oh, AIDS, HIV, oh Lord, you're gonna die. That's how this was. Just like when that came around 5 years ago, right? So, oh, what is this? A boogeyman in the air. And guess what? Most people wouldn't go. Well, a lot of people wouldn't have took that shot. And guess what? A lot of them killed over after that, right? So back in the 1930s, we had these black angels, which really were angels. So what they did were there were some courageous women from New York, and when tuberculosis came, tuberculosis was like, you get TB, you dead, right? So what they did, family, they actually put their lives on the line to go out and help people who had tuberculosis or who was diagnosed with TB or tuberculosis. Yeah, people have, yeah, exactly, Prince. That's the same thing tuberculosis did, right? It's the same old script, a different theme. Same script, different theme. But these black angels, right, um, helped tuberculosis patients um, from horrific conditions. They helped save some people from horrific conditions at a New York City's hospital called Seaview Hospital during the 1930s. Now, these ladies' family risked their own lives to treat a deadly disease even before antibiotics came out. Can you believe that? I mean, they were courageous. These were truly women of the Most High, truly women of Christ, truly. Because who would do that? Now, this disease had the entire world in fear back then. And and I can't even say this is crazy, but white nurses at that time refused the job. But the resiliency of these black women from the segregated South were the people who saved persons from tuberculosis. Now, I had to dig even deeper to find the names of these women. The names are as follows: Marjorie Tucker Reed, Phyllis Alfreda Hall. She black for real. She got a long name. Phyllis Alfreda Hall Lambert, Virginia Allen, Missouri Lavina Meadows Walker. That's another long name. Missouri Lavina Meadows Walker, Clemmy Phillips, Edna Sutton, and Kate Gillespie. I'll repeat those names again. Kate Gillespie, Edna Sutton, Clemmy Phillips, Missouri Lavina Meadows Walker, Virginia Allen, Phyllis Alfreda Hall Lambert, and Marjorie Tucker Reed. All these women worked exhausting shifts, but when TB was defeated, they worked exhausting shifts to defeat TB. And they did this in the 1930s, where you had the white nurses was like, nah, we ain't doing that. Those white nurses would turn people away. But then we had these sisters, these six sisters come in and was like, nah, we got this. Don't worry about it. We got this. They were, to me, they had to be anointed because the Most High had them, had the angels guiding them. And what they do, they they help defeat tuberculosis. And then what happened? After tuberculosis was erased from, after tuberculosis was defeated, their names were basically erased from history. No one remembered these six glorious women. But is that a surprise? Is that a surprise? When a person of color does something, allegedly, they it's like they didn't do it. It's like they didn't do it. But who else has superpowers but us? Who else has superpowers but the black woman? Who else? Six black nurses, the black angels, came in and helped to defeat tuberculosis. Now, I got to say this too. My mother was diagnosed with tuberculosis. And to this day, she's a strong woman. because she had one lung taken out. You know, you got two lungs. She had one lung taken out. That was years ago. She was born in the 30s. Now, I'm not sure what year this was when she had a lung taken out, but she had one lung taken out. And she was still smoking cigarettes, because back then, cigarettes was a cool thing to do. So my mother is a tuberculosis survivor. So when I go get checked out for tuberculosis, you know, I don't know if you know, but there's a test and there's a little bubble that comes up. And that bubble says that you have it or you're exposed to it. I've been exposed to it because my mom don't have it. All praise to the Most High. So let's give it up, family, for the Black Angels. Let's give it up to Christ and the Most High. Let's just give it up, because tonight I'm pretty sure you have learned some things. I learned some things doing the research. And I want to thank you all. I want to especially, first and foremost, thank the Most High for this platform. Thank the ones who are in the background for this platform. Thank you for putting me on this platform and giving me another chance. Day in, day out, I thank you. All praises to the Most High, family. I want to tell you all, you know, stay prayed up. As I always say, put on the entire armor of the Most High. Love your neighbor. Sin not. Pray for one another. Love on one another. And work on yourself. So that way we can all make it to the kingdom. We can all make it to Zion, because that's what this is about. It's not about us. It's about giving Christ his usury. Giving the Most High his usury through Christ. With that, family, I want to say shalom, shalom. I love you all. Peace. A bottle of hair grease. Until next time. Stay black. Stay diligent. Stay word.
We don't want to listen to the prophets. All the prophets doing it for profits. Come around, see what you could profit. We don't want to listen to the prophets. All the prophets doing it for profits. Come around, see what you could profit. And the law, and the priest, and the scribes, and the kings, and the men, and the turn the law to tips, the kings to slaves, the fathers to their graves, the temple up for sale. Speak to my people and write them a letter and tell them the judgment is coming to town. Thousands of people and all of them foolish. I hope that they know that it's burnt to the ground. Sodom and Gomorrah, you burn to the hate on your neighbor, you know what to do. Speak all that rubbish, you know what to do. The scriptures are written, you know what to do. So woe to the people and woe to the idols. They know what to do, but they don't even do it. You know what to do. Woe to your gods, you're definitely dumb. Woe to your chariots, your horses, they need you to run. Woe to your temple, woe to the whore, and woe to the priest. He buried the law. And woe to the heathens, they get that for treason. And as long as I'm breathing, whoa, 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 whoa. We don't want to listen to the prophets. All the prophets doing it for profits. Come around, see what you can profit. We don't want to listen to the prophets. All the prophets doing it for profits. Come around, see what you can profit. Whoa, 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 whoa. If a black is a goy and Mary immaculate, and all of the churches are having it. Pagans are up for the damages, doing money lies, having bloody ties, desecrating holy days and holy nights, sleeping in your churches, claiming holy life. Eat abomination, do your sacrifice. Curse the demon children that you bring to life. Shed the blood of your neighbor, say blood of Christ. Do the whoremonger with your brother's wife, and your brother's life, and your brother's talk. Do we keep commands? Do we break the law? Do we do the things that bring the wrath of God? Thou shalt love the neighbor, thou shalt love the Lord. So woe to the people and woe to the idols. They know what to do, but they don't even do it. You know what to do. Woe to your gods, you're definitely dumb. Woe to your chariots, your horses, they need you to run. Woe to your temple, woe to the whore, and woe to the priest. He buried the law. And woe to the heathens, they get that for treason. And as long as I'm breathing, whoa, 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 whoa. We don't want to listen to the prophets. All the prophets doing it for profits. Come around, see what you can profit. We don't want to listen to the prophets. All the prophets doing it for profits. Come around, see what you can profit. We don't wanna listen to the prophets. All the prophets doing it for profits. Come around, see what you can profit. We don't wanna listen to the prophets. All the prophets doing it for profits. Come around, see what you can profit.